Hello and welcome to Karma on Deck. I'm Karma. Let's do Gemini's weekly reading for Gemini for this week of April 28th. So let's get started and see what is playing with y'all. Okay, 2 seconds. We'll shuffle a little bit and see. So things are rapidly shifting and changing, Gemini. Let us look and see what we got going on for you guys. For those of you on my Facebook, jump onto my YouTube for your weekly reading. If you're not catching them on here, you can subscribe to Karma on Deck Psychic on YouTube. So let's take a look and see what is up for Gemini. Let me repost this over here. All right. Game on. So the first thing that comes up is the Empress. Now here's what's interesting about the Empress, and note that as we move through the signs, especially when we do concurrent and in order, they are, some of your cusp energy comes through because they are similar in a lot of ways. Notice what Gemini has here, which is the Hierophant and the Empress. Both of those cards showed up very clearly for Taurus as well. And what I'm seeing here for Gemini is I'm seeing that Gemini is very much so on the path of figuring out the lesson. And what I mean by that is we have the Hierophant here, and then I have the Empress, which is protection. So in order to protect your energy, I definitely see that Gemini is very clearly taking all the data that they have and organizing it in such a way so that they can plan for what's happening next. There's a lot of pressure on Gemini right now. We do have the Judgment card. So for those of you over here on Facebook, you can see here that there's Gemini energy here with a little tension. That's my three-headed dragon. We do still have the Three of Coins and the Knight of Coins, which is telling me that Gemini is definitely looking to see how they can organize their money and maximize their energy with that, right? So I'm also seeing the Queen of Swords. So Gemini has definitely come to this place where they've decided that they don't want to do things the way that they had been doing things before. They know the value of watering a dead tree and making sure that they don't have to go back and revisit these subjects in order to make a decision. What they know is that the fruit of a tree that's dead isn't going to really give you anything. So they're kind of keeping their opinion to themselves. They're definitely being very judgmental about how they make their new moves and keeping things in alignment as far as that goes. The thing that's going on for Gemini though is I'm also seeing the Five of Swords. There's been some conflict for Gemini over this last week, and so if you see here there's a little bit of conflict, and so Gemini is very clear on how they want to move forward. They definitely want to organize their time and limit the amount of energy that's being tugged on their strings, so to speak. And what I mean by that is if you're setting your boundaries early and often, Gemini is definitely feeling as if they are on the hot seat. If you notice here, there's a bunch of flames and criticism that's going on. So they're very cautious in how they're being perceived right now and not giving anybody any additional information in order to play with anyone else's opinions. You're feeling a little backed into a corner too, and if you notice, that was some energy that Taurus had going on. I do see the Six of Cups, so there's a lot of playtime that's going on for you. You do have the Death card too, so you're really organizing your time and your ideas. The reason why I say that Gemini has this keeping things close to the chest here is because we have the Nine of Swords, and that is like feeling like a ghost in your own home. It feels like Gemini is playing with, your needs aren't getting met. You're feeling as if you haven't had an opportunity with all of the energy that's being pulled on you. You're feeling as if, you're losing a little bit of your identity, losing a little bit of what it is you said you wanted to do. So you're setting your boundaries a little bit. I'm seeing that my Geminis out there have the Justice card, and this is where you're pulling the trigger sooner on people. And what I mean by that is you're pulling the trigger and you're making sure that you're using extreme judgment with everything that you're doing. I see fate, so things are lining up as they should for you, so it doesn't feel as complicated as it once did. However, there's a high level of tension that's going on for you guys. I'm also seeing the Ace of Wands. Now the Ace of Wands was showing up for Taurus, and that's the skill set, that's your toolbox. Gemini is looking at their skill set, their tools, trying to see if they have what it takes to make things play out for you, that you're making sure that you're using your school tools and sharpening those, so to speak. So let's take a look and see what's going on for you for your Gemini moon, for those of you that are Gemini moon. I'm not doing questions quite yet. I might come on here and do live right after this, so let's take a look and see. So this is for Gemini moon, how you think, how you feel, and how your relationships are going. I do see the Page of Swords, 5 of Swords, 5 of Cups. Wow, okay, you've got the Queen of Swords too. So be a bitch if you have to. And what I mean by that is I have the Queen of Swords. This is the bitch card. You almost feel as if you're being harsher than you have to be, but you also kind of know that in order to get things done the way that you want them done, you've kind of had to go around the block a little bit. So 3 lefts, 4 lefts make a right, so to speak, or whatever that expression is. You make enough lefts, you're turning on the right side. So for you, you're kind of feeling as if you've really got to say things in a different way in order to get people to listen, because everybody's in this tailspin and they've got this high energy. It's like a 2-year-old with a temper tantrum, right? And you're kind of feeling as if you don't stop it now, it's going to keep going. I'm also seeing 9 of Swords. So the thing that's going on for Gemini is that you're feeling a little tired. The Gemini's getting restless sleep, lucid dreams. And I was talking to Taurus about this a little bit. So for those of you that are on the path of ascension and you're feeling your appetite change, ringing in your ears, blurred vision, etc., I do see the 9 of Swords, which is restless sleep, where you may be getting some really good sleep but not feeling restful or rested. So a lot of that, as you're getting your downloads at night, your brain is on and you're feeling a little bit wired, so to speak. I am seeing that Gemini is taking on a lot more burdens than they should right now. You're feeling obligated in a lot of space, as indicated by the 10 of Wands. Gemini is deeply paranoid right now, feeling as if they're not hopeful for the future, and they're not feeling as if there is a lot of hope for things. So basically Gemini is playing with their own skill set and their own power and making sure that they're not taking on more than they should. You're definitely paranoid about, not paranoid, but you're very pragmatic about your energy and paying close attention to what strings are being pulled on that, and that's indicated by the Moon card. The Moon card is all about like a journey that's necessary, but not feeling as if you want to take it on, but you know that it's necessary. Therefore, we have the 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is like the burden, carrying the burden, doing the thing. But we have the 8 of Cups, which is letting go of anything that's not serving you. If you look here, this is the 8 of Cups. This is like it's not over to the fat lady sings. And what I mean by that right here, she's like walking away from all these full cups and things that aren't serving her. I'm also seeing the 5 of Pentacles. And that's like harvest. You're starting to reap the harvest of all your hard work and starting to play with, pulling on the things that you know are good for you. Gemini definitely has that split personality mentality right now, where they're feeling as if they want things to go back the way they were. Even though you're walking away from things that don't serve you, Gemini is really not enjoying this phase like at all. You want a lot of things to go back the way they were. However, pragmatic though you are, playing with all this data, you're looking at this as going, okay, it's not going to change, so what do I need to change? Let's take a look. I also see 10 of Cups. Gemini, don't be so hard on yourself and trying to make things look perfect at this point in time. I haven't worn a bra in a month, and I went out to the grocery store realizing that that's just going to be a thing. I'm not going to apologize for that, but I do feel as if you're playing with this new norm and you're having a really hard time with trying to keep things the way they used to be, and how things used to look, right? So this is the 10 of Cups, and what I mean by that, and 10 of Cups is my Disneyland card, it's that perfection. You want things to look like the perfect family home. You want things to look like you've got all of your shit together. Not that that's bad, but this is also a smokescreen from letting people get in too closely. You don't want anybody to know your business. It's hard enough to maintain what's going on here without letting people in and having their viewpoint, etc. So here we have the 2 of Cups, which is love. There is a lot of abundance and balance that's going on for you. So Gemini, fear not. I do tap on those love sources, tap on your resources, reach out to those people that are in your tribe and get a little feedback for you. Book your one-on-one, karmaondeck.com. You can go ahead and find me, get yourself on the schedule, and let's pick apart your independent relationships and individual dynamics. I am going to pull a card for you from Divination of the Ancients. Shuffle these one time, put them away. So Divination of the Ancients will give you a little bit of an oracle card and a really simple message from the divine, and see what's going on with that. And your card is interpretation, which is interesting because how you interpret data has everything to do with the data and not necessarily what the data is itself. Interpretation can be huge for you. So let's see what it says. It says, too often you draw conclusions that leave you feeling upset or frustrated. But your reactions are due entirely to your own interpretation of what others say and the situation you find yourself in. Adopt a new way of thinking that will help you embrace life and live it to the full. And here's what's true. Whether we like it or not, things are changing. So how we change our perception and our attitude toward these changing times will affect our outcome. Definitely your subconscious mind listens to everything that you say all the time. So why don't you put it to work for you? That's why you're here after all. Spruce yourself up in appearance, if you will, but definitely in mind. Embark on a task or journey with a new and positive attitude. Grabbing opportunities with gusto and purpose will turn your life around, and you will find you achieve more than you ever have. Soon you'll notice that others' attitudes towards you will become more affirming as you will to them and anything else that comes your way. Your incantation for the week is, I resented what I saw. Life was dull. I wanted more. I read the wrong way into things, and now I read them right, and my heart sings. So it says, what you deem as bad is another man's good. Nothing is all black or white. And that's a Gemini trait, right? Never to look at things as just black and white. Look at a situation through different eyes and visit an accredited palm reader, tarot, or psychic. Consider where life has taken you and make changes if needed. So if you need some help getting some insight on your next steps, I am a master at looking at the cards and intuitive readings and finding out what little intuitive dynamics are having a play in your life. So reach out. Let me know how you feel your reading went. Let me know where you are in the world. And leave a comment, like, subscribe, and share my YouTube. Come see me. Love and light, guys. I will catch you on the flip side.